Page's 4L car sideways. And Alan Bowman's having a tough day, and he had nowhere to go with that one, and he just shortened up that Mopar powered number 22.
He's got the radiator for sure.
He tagged LePage pretty hard on the passenger side. Hard enough where I think that car lifted off the ground. There's several cars. Gondik's 29G with a flat left rear. Sitting at the bottom. Sitting at the bottom of turn 2. His night is either done, or if he can get that one refired, he can get to the pits and get that tire changed. Andrew Inman's 11 Jr. has looked better, but it's at least rolling. Tail fins are back in, I see.
Hopefully he's back into the racing mode, not.
Let's see what happened here.
Not jumping things through
this
car through the trailer up at the Proctor Speedway last night.
Race for the lead shown a moment ago, and then back to that incident in turn 4 where Kerry LePage sideways and Alan Bowman with a hard hit. And now you see the crews over there going to try and clean this one up. Bowman, yeah, that is all radiator fluid coming out of the front end of that 22 car. His night apparently is done. Gondik, and as you see in the lower right there, the 29G, he'll get the assist off the track from the hook. He's still got the helmet on and the net up, so it might be a situation where they're just going to take him to the pits so he can get that left rear tire changed. Of course, if they take him back to his pit spot, where his hauler is, his night is done. That's a Wissota rule.
Well, they left him there, so.
Well, this is not a good sign here, as we've got the Gold Cross ambulance. Hopefully this is for precautionary measures. Again, see if we can watch.
Well, that was a pretty good T-bone that he got.
There he is sideways, bang.
Although it was on the passenger side, so maybe.
Thank goodness. That was a pretty hard hit.
Yep.
Well, rear tire, and it might be enough to jolt him enough, though. And the Gold Cross ambulance crew talking to Kerry LePage right now, making sure that he's okay. As you can see, Alan Bowman has crawled from the 22 car, talking with safety people down there. I'm sure he's not only frustrated, but I'm sure he feels bad because he didn't look like he had anywhere to go. Looking at the front end of that 22. Some significant damage to the right rear of the 4L of Kerry LePage.
So did Jake Gondik driving the 29G into the pits?
That's a good sign for him because all he needs to do is go to the work area and get that tire changed and get back. Here we're going to get another look.
Take a look at them in slow motion. Just nowhere to go.
Boom, boom. Cody Carlson went high on the track. Not sure if he was dodging to avoid or if there was something else going on there.
I've talked about this before, but I've noticed when you look at the turn number 2, somewhere just a little bit high toward the middle, it flattens out quickly as you come off the turn. Right. And that's a lot of trouble for people that are trying to keep momentum up. We have in past years reshaped that part of the turn so that you have some bank. But when you lose the bank like that, when you're flat out getting on the gas coming out of the turn, that's really upsets the car, and we see a lot of cars sliding up toward the wall or losing positions. And so you have to be very careful when you're driving. If you can say driving a race car is anybody's careful, but you have to know where the problems are going to be. So on the track, and if you get in that spot, you're bound to lose positions or maybe even cause a wreck.
It takes a lot of laps around a lot of different racetracks to get a feel for where the spots are. The Gold Cross ambulance moving back into the infield, that's a good sign because that means that Kerry LePage has been checked out and has been okayed health-wise. So we're happy to report that, near as we can judge by what we're seeing here. But LePage's car now being pulled off the track. And I have not yet seen Kerry, so I'm hoping that he's somewhere nearby. I don't see him in the car, at least not from this camera angle. And that's not Kerry trying to get in. So Would
Somebody
be a lot easier if it was lower.
Somebody got to steer this thing.
Yeah. There's a lot of front end damage. And there we go. Yeah, now we're going to get that straightened away, and that'll track a little easier now with somebody on the steering wheel. Good job.
Actually, where that car was
And the
hit,
tiller.
right, basically right on the, just in front of the right rear wheel.
Yep.
No doubt shook a lot of stuff loose in the rear suspension.
But fortunately, didn't shake Kerry too much. I'm sure he's
Well,
probably a little shook, but
probably.
they so much of what they're doing these days, Jerry. You know, you talked earlier about the advancements in technology. So much of what they're doing these days now is got such an emphasis on safety as well in
Very
these
much
race
so.
cars.
Very much so.
And then a track like this where they go so fast,
Yes.
like you said, things happen quickly.
Yep, they do, and I know from experience.
Yeah, you know.
Even though even though when I was racing, we weren't going this fast. The hits you take can jerk you around in that car. You know, it's not as smooth out there as it looks.
Here's the
There
shot
you go,
again,
yeah.
and right in the driver or passenger side
Yeah, just
rear
about
wheel. That's a hard
rear
hit.
wheel, so.
More good news. Real good.
There's a good spot to watch the races from.
Yeah, you see a handful of the drivers up there. Harry Hansen in the fire suit there in the upper right, and trying to recognize a couple of others there. Some friendly fans there. Right up on top the hauler. Great, best view of the house. And you paid good money for that view too.
Yeah, those aren't cheap seats.
No, those are not cheap seats. Even when you bring your own seat, it's not cheap. Gondik has changed the tire on the 29G. He will reattach to the tail of the grid. He had passed a couple of cars during that last green flag run, but after the visit to the pits, he is delegated to the back of the bus once again. Not by fault, but just due to the fact that he had gone to the pits. So the field is rolling once again, and again, the scorers will get them in position, as Jerry explained, in single file order before getting them to double up.
And it looks like Gondik has only got 20 cars to pass now to make it back to where he was.
Things have gotten easier for him.
You have to travel home.
Left
Well,
front is flat.
They
Got it.
forgot one. Forgot to put some air in the left front, as you pointed out. His woes are going to continue. He's going to have to get that back in anyway. Field is getting lined up. Caution lights must be shut off, so we're getting ready to go back at it here in just a moment.
Left front spends little time on the ground anyway, so
Yeah, at least it's a left front. Yes,
just basically holding up that corner of the car.
that's all it's doing.
Well,
A track.
not so much in these, but in the big mods where they carry that left front. Yeah.
Yeah,
So it looks like we're looking for a start.
all right, one more time around. Mac Esty leading. Dan Kingsley is on the inside of row number 2 in that 68K, and that'll be the 17 of Devin Van House alongside. He's in third. Restarting fourth, Dan Wilson in the 39. Restarting fifth, the 43. Kyle Matuska started 20th out of 25 cars. Jeff Klopstein in the 21 junior. Kevin Monte in the 3D. 25th starting Skeeter Esty, restarting in 8th in that 37X in black and gold. Dan Scholler 9th and Cody Carlson 10th as you got a battle right off the start for the lead. Down the back straightaway into turns 3 and 4. Down low is Kingsley in the 68K. Up high is Mac Esty in the 37. Kingsley is the leader. Look at Kyle Matuska's 43. He is up battling with the 17 of Devin Van House for third. Wilson in the 39, about to be overtaken by Jeff 21 Jr. and the best one for turn number 4. Several cars collected at the bottom of turn number 4, and Jake Gondik is in there again. The 11 junior of Andrew Inman, who's going to get that one rolling again. The 20R of Rob Rantalo. Haven't talked about him a lot. He's had a kind of a back of the field kind of day, and unfortunately this time it cost him. That 31 car is Norm Anderson Jr. J.R. Anderson. And he is still parked at the bottom of turn 4 with Gondik. Not sure we're going to get much of a view of this one, as this was deep in the grid. See what the boys in the truck can come up with for us.
We got a little bit of it. We'll get it queued up here.
Alrighty, when you're ready.
Go
There
ahead,
we
Sam.
go.
Go.
The 50 of Brady Carl, the 40 junior of Tyler
Gonna be right
Vernon,
behind
just
that.
behind them. Andrew Inman already around. And Gondik and third.
We're going to get another angle for you, too. I think we'll get a better look at it.
So another incident, this time deep in the field in our Minnesota Midwest Modified feature.
Model features coming your way here tonight at Amsoil Speedway, all part of the Amsoil.
All right, here we go. Another look at it. Go ahead, Sam.
You'll see it coming right about now. So you see Andrew Inman went around in front of several of his friends. So that was more a matter of people avoiding rather than being collected.
1-6-7 lead over the 37 of Mac Esty.
We still have, coming up next is the first of the two Amsoil Twin Ports Twin 25s late model features, which should be a dandy with Harry Hansen and Darrell Nelson on the front row based on the draw.
Yeah, that's going to be a great race. Well, looks like Jake Gondik is finally given up the ghost.
Yeah, we think this one might be the end for.
However many times that he's been involved in these, whether it was on his nickel or on somebody else's.
You know, the sheet metal is easy to fix. It's the stuff underneath that costs the most time and money. Sheet metal, it's just a matter of pounding that out and putting in a few rivets, but there's tires, there's suspension issues in there. There might be some alignment issues as, you know, when they get that one home and put it up on the hoist and take a look at it, there's going to be a lot of work to do on that one.
And they dropped to 6 laps here, guys.
So you're going to cut the time on this feature, so now a 6-lap sprint to the finish. I don't think we had gotten much more than 8.
It was at 10.
It was at 10?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which was halfway, so.
It was halfway.
Take a look at that again from that end camera.
Coming
It looks like he
into
just kind of loses it.
Yep, right in the middle of your screen, and around he goes. Racing for position. And just got a little too strong in the corner. The field has been trimmed significantly, and so is the distance. We're down to a 6-lap run to the finish. And now Dan Kingsley will be your pace setter. Esty wants to start on the outside of row number 2. That leaves Van House to the inside, the 17. Matuska in the 43 and Wilson in the 39, your front 5. 6 laps to go.